Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Marhar Archaic. This board features Marhar's hybrid camber, flat in the middle, camber underfoot, then rocker in the tip and the tail. Basically you got independent camber zones for the load, pop, snap, and drive. Then you got that rocker in the tip and the tail. That's going to help with ease of entry, in and out of turns, as well as powder float. And that flat section in the middle, well, I don't really know what that does. This board is available in 151, 154, 154 wide, 158, 158 wide, and 161. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on an overcast gray bird skies with high visibility. You had lumpy snow, chundery snow, fog, and firm, fast groomers. I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board comes in slightly below middle of the road all mountain freestyle. What you do get is softer tips, stiffening up through that camber section underfoot, then softer again in that flat section in the middle with a ton of torsional flex to it. This board is very lively, which means you're going to feel any chatter that you hit with it. It's gonna resonate back underfoot, so you gotta be prepared to keep your knees bent, especially if you get into lumpy, bumped out terrain. This board is super easy to engage the snap. You have these independent camber zones, so when you load it up off the back foot, you roll back into that rocker on the tail, and it kind of acts like a small springboard, and it's gonna pop. Now, it's not the snappiest board. I need to preface that. It's just a board that feels like you've ridden it 100 days, and it might be slightly clapped out, but you know that it's going to consistently pop for you. Now, with that said, you're going to be able to ollie off a side hit, roller, whatever, just you're not going to boost to the moon. When it comes to jumps, small to medium, that's really where it stands out. Anything bigger, you're probably going to have some issues and you want something that's full camber. That's just how things are. But if you do hit the lip and pop a little bit, you're going to go a little higher, a little further. But by and large, this is a board that you just want to sort of let the lip throw you and do everything for you. With those rocker sections in the tips, you want to get your weight outside those camber sections underfoot. When you do, it locks in and it holds. You can basically butter till your heart's content with this board. If you're one of those people that's really lazy and just leans forward or backwards and you're like, look at me, I'm buttering. Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. This board's got you covered. What's nice is those independent camber sections really do add a little snap out of any press that you're doing, so be aware of that, but it never fights you. When it comes to jibbing, this thing just locks in on the tail or the nose. You can just feel right where that flex point is, right as the camber comes down and hits the rocker. That's where you want to be, and it holds until you hit the end and then it snaps out. When you go sideways, this board just envelops the feature. You can just feel it wrap itself around and you never have to worry about it. This board steers 100% right underfoot. That's just due to the camber profile. What you will notice is that it fluidly transitions from toe to heel. It's not quick, it's just consistent. You never have to worry about it. When you do lay it over and you really try to drive off that rear camber section and push on the tail, you might wash it out from time to time. There's limitations. Once you learn where they are, you're fine. I think its strong suit is setup turns and medium carves, like not medium mellow, just medium carves. If you want to be a little more aggressive, you can. And if you want to be a little bit more laid back, you can as well too. It's only if you super aggressively push it off that tail, the nose is elevated, and you're really laying it over, it may wash out if the snow is a little firmer and it can't set that edge. Overall, it grips where you want it to. You notice that dual arc edge right underfoot. It's doing its thing. It works. Who's this board for? The all-mountain freestyle guy with a little more emphasis on the freestyle side of things. They tweak the core and you can feel the difference in the ride of it. It's a little more playful, a little bit more forgiving than it's been in the past. And that's fine. That's perfect for that type of rider. For my personal taste, it doesn't really suit me anymore. I think they have other boards like the Dark Side or even the Invasion would be more up my alley. But overall, it works. This board is consistent. And what's nice is it has that dampness that Marhars are known for without sacrificing any liveliness. So it just doesn't feel like a dead, lifeless turd. One thing I want to note is, yes, they sent me one with a black top sheet. They can do 100% full custom graphics, so be aware of that. If you want a graphic on a board, they can do that for you. Otherwise, you can just buy the stock version. Overall, It's not a bad board for what it is. I just think that a lot of companies are starting to get away from this camber profile, and this is still a holdover from when we were very invested in it. It works, but there's better rides out there. Comparable boards: the LibTech Terrain Wrecker, the Niche Aether, the Nidecker Escape. Binding recommendations: the Rome Vice, the Ride C6, the Now Pilot. This has been my review of the Marhar Archaic. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.